Hi there, it's Travis Emmett here, Hyde Motorworks Supercharger Bracket Designer for engines such as the M10 and the M20, which is here, soon to be M30 as well in the future, designer for bracket systems that bolt onto those engines. It's March 2024, I've got the M20 motor here with the concept design of the Rotrex E38 model supercharger to fit onto it. It's a fairly simplistic design. There's a front plate here that holds the actual supercharger itself, which I'll show you from behind in a minute. We've got a large mount bracket here, which holds the power steering pump and also this alternator in particular is from an M20R E36 platform motor. There are two types of alternators from that M20R motor. One's the Valeo and one's the Bosch. Both have got slightly different mount preferences for both the Valeo and the Bosch. So there's a little bracket that's designed specifically for each of those that can be included based on whichever M20R alternator that you may have. This design maintains the use of the air conditioning system. That doesn't move, everything's in its normal position there. The only things that have been moved are the power steering pump and the alternator positions, which have come out slightly 3 or 4 centimeters. So based on the power steering and the alternator being in slightly different positions, we've had to reroute the accessories belt, which runs off the water pump, and the crank obviously. There's some back bends here of the 11A belt, which in specific we'll be using the OptiBelt Performance XE M+S belts, which take high loads and they can be back bent. So that's why we've got some back bends here with pulleys, just to reroute and gather extra wrap for these two guys here. Belt stays the same and the position stays the same of the air conditioning system on the other side, on the hot side of the engine. We will have to omit the metal pipe that normally goes in here, which is the water pipe, which sits above the water pump pulley there. So normally this pipe would be coming out here and heading off down to this water pipe that's here. So what we'll do is we'll actually put a new one in here and route it with this one over the top here to head off to the radiator that way. Also to the left-hand side radiator hose, that's fine, that doesn't need to change its position at all. I've just got it tucked out of the way for ease of looking at this video. Alright, so let's have a look at it. So what we've done here with the crank pulley is we've removed the original power steering pulley, which is an 11A size pulley on the front, and we've replaced that with a 6-rib serpentine style pulley on front. Inside, and then you can see on the front here we've got the new 6-rib. So for the supercharger belt system, we've got the tensioning assembly up here, running this pulley here. So moving around to the side here, you can see the Rotrex C38 sitting right here, uppermost on the whole assembly that has the power steering at the bottom, the alternator next, and of course the C38 sitting on top. The outlet here, you will be able to change the position that you want that. So that can be rotated 60 degrees. So for example, you could have the outlet here, or you could have it there. Not that you probably would, because you've got all this in the way here, but I think this position here is probably perfect for that. It can head off towards the intercooler from there. The inlet obviously is here, and then your air filter you would reroute in here somewhere in front of your front wheel arch. You can see one of the brackets there behind, that's just the main brace bracket which bolts to the side of the engine, and then everything's joined onto the back of that, the side of that. So in the near future, we can adapt this front plate for different Rotrex models. This one obviously is the C38. We can also put a C15 if we wanted, or a C30, which is slightly less powered, less weight as well. We can utilize this front plate and adapt that to any of those. So that will be the next stage of this process. But for now, the C38 has been designed onto this system. Looking at the technical manual of the Rotrexes here, we've got a listing of the 15s, the 30s and the 38s. My design here, which is the current Hyde Motorworks design, utilises the C38. We can also make a bracket, as I mentioned earlier, for the 30 and the 15 as above. But based on the power goals, how well your engine internals are built, you can use whichever model of these that you prefer based on the desired power endpoints that you would be after. So as you can see, the C3841, which is the top of the 38 rows there, quite a lot of kilowatts, 200 to 410 as final engine power results. And then lower on we've got the 92, which is massive, anywhere up to 530 kilowatts at that. So this concept design's almost complete. Next stage now, it just needs to be sent off to the AutoCAD to get scanned. Then it can be sent off to the manufacturers to get produced, each part. The amount of parts in this, relatively simple. We've got an internal brace in here, an external mount here for just this pulley here. We have the main front bracket here, which is a right angle bracket heading back on the inside. You can't quite see it there. The main, which is made out of wood here, this is the main side bracket for the engine. There's another bracket inside here which braces the front plate that mounts the supercharger, the C38, and then there's the front Rotrex mount plate as well. And the tensioning of the 11A size belt here that does all the accessories. So it does the power steering, it does the alternator, and it also does the water pump up here. That is tensioned using this single bolt here, which mounts to the top mount point. The top mount point of the alternator there. So underneath, next to the tensioning system at the top point of the alternator, we've got this stabilizing mount here. In future, what we may do is create another stabilizing mount off the top here, which perhaps connects to somewhere around here, just to make the whole system solid. As you can imagine, if this is putting out somewhere between 200 and 450 plus kilowatts, which is pretty amazing, yeah, you want to make sure that that's nice and secure. So what we may do in future is just create an extra brace up here somewhere. So in essence, that's the basis of the system. In future, we will be doing a front plate that also caters for the C30 and the C15 Rotrexes for those that want to have less power. But in the first instance, what we've done is we've created the front plate for the C38, which is amazing amounts of power. Rotrex have put an amazing amount of technology into this supercharger, the Centrifugal Supercharger. So for more information, go to the Hyde Motorworks website. There you can either email for more information or check the socials page. So stay tuned in future. Hopefully in the next couple of months, perhaps by June, July, this will be ready for rolling out and putting into your engine. All the best. Have a supercharged day.